Hello everyone. So welcome back to my channel. This is the video 6 of our Spring Boot series where we are building the CRUD application. So we have already built with using a list, okay, proper list. But now we are going to integrate with our database. So I'll be using the MySQL, and please do watch the previous video where I explained the concepts like Hibernate, ORM in simple like basic thing, okay. And then now we will be using those in this video and integrating with our DB. So first of all, you should have this MySQL server and workbench, and then open this workbench. You should see this one, and let's create one scheme, okay. One, I mean database. Create database, employee employee DB. Okay, let's create this database. Okay, now let's modify and integrate. So first thing is you have to add some properties here for your database URL, password and all. Okay, I will open my notepad. I have stored that there. Yes, this one. So these are my properties. Okay, what is Hibernate and all I explained. Please do watch that video. And these are all the properties. Dialect also I explained in the previous video. As we are using the MySQL, that's why we are giving this MySQL dialect. So here let's write employee DB. Okay, this is my database. This is the port on which my database is running on. My server is running on, and local host. Okay, this is my username and password. Okay, this is this thing. And then now add the dependency. We need to add two dependencies. One is MySQL connector and one is Spring Data JPA. In the last video I explained why we use the Spring Data JPA is for the purpose of this. uh, it provides us JPA repository which provides us different methods, so we don't really need to write the SQL queries. We just have to call the built-in methods, and of course we can customize it and we can write our own methods as well. So in this video we will be seeing, we will integrate with the DB. It should create a table, okay, we will see that. And it should insert our employees. So let's add these two dependencies, Spring Spring Data JPA and MySQL connector. And I have only want this on runtime, not on compile time. So I want MySQL driver to be loaded only on runtime. Yes, I'll load this. Okay, this here you can see the icon for the Gradle dependencies. It will refresh. We can change the project name also. Okay, now let's start. So we will start with what? We will start with the model. So first, as I explained in the previous video, please do watch that because it's dependent. Okay, we will be using @entity annotation. I will not create one more. I can just use here itself. I will use this annotation entity. Okay, which means I want table of this employee, and if I want different name I can use another annotation @table, and I can give the name. And I want to mark this as private, primitive, sorry, primary key. Yeah, so I have to use @id, and I want it to generate by itself. Okay, so generated value, I explained this different annotation in previous video. Please do watch that. And generation type I will use identity. Okay, so auto incremented, I just want to keep it simple. And one more thing, see, when before we were passing the id in our create, so in this approach, okay, where we are integrating with DB, we will not be passing id, it should generate. So in that case it will consider the value null. So Hibernate, what it does, if the value is null, then only it will generate. Okay, if value is not null, it will check the DB with that id. If there is any other present, okay, record, it will just update that. Okay, so dot save can be used for creating new or updating. If you're passing the id, that means asking it to update that record. Okay, if that id is not present, okay, if that not, it will return us error, okay, give us error. But if you are passing the id as null, that means we are not passing id, it should be null, then it will create. But if you see here, we have used the primitive types, this int. Okay, so if we don't send this, it will give us a bad request. So let's use this integer, and here also let's use this. We can change everywhere, that's fine. Control Z. Sorry. This integer I will add here, here, everywhere. Okay, that's it. Mm, yes. Okay. Now, now this is done. If I run this, okay, if I run this, let's see what happens. And we next thing is we will create a repository. So I'll create new one instead of modifying this. Okay, for service also. So with this list, we have created this, but yes, if we see, you can say it is doing something with our Hibernate initialize JPA, and yes, let's go to this, and we have created our employee DB. Okay, so here you can see employee. We haven't created the table, but there is a table called employee. How it is created, and you can see primary key is my ID, code, and name. Okay, how it is created, because we gave this annotation here, entity. So now we created table. Now let's use the repository. So Spring Data JPA provides us the JPA repository. Okay. Instead of this, I will use some employee CRUD repository. Okay. So I'll mark this as repository. Okay. I have to this is an interface. So JPA repository also interface. So I will extend JPA repository. JPA repository. We have added dependencies for this. Okay. Spring Data JPA. Now here in JP repository, two things we have to pass. Okay, I mean not pass, but it needs two things on which the table, okay, on which you have to do the operation, that save, find all, find by ID, which I showed in the previous video. On which employee, okay, we have to provide the class and also the primary key type. What is that type? Is integer. Okay, so you can see T is template and its ID. So done. That's it for record. So it will give me all the methods. So we, if we go under this, and after in JPA repository, it is extending another interface which is list CRUD repository. It is extending another is CRUD repository. So for CRUD, it is extending repository, but see the CRUD repository have what? Dot save. It takes this entity. Save all. Okay. Find by ID, exist by ID, find all. So there are several methods which we can use. Okay, so we are just extending this. Okay, now let's create one service. Okay, employee CRUD service, new employee CRUD service. Okay, now here what will we will mark it as at the rate service. Okay, I'll copy the same code from here, and we will update one by one each. Okay, now here what we will do is employee service. Here we let's change the this, and instead of employee repository, I will be using employee CRUD repository. Okay, so I'll use the employee CRUD repository now. Okay, now what we will do is for create employee, what is there? It's save. Just save. Done. We don't need to write any query, SQL query or anything. If you have, okay, if you have done before, or you have made projects in servlet JSP or any other technology where you have written the query to insert query or select query and anything, but using JPA repository we don't need that. Okay, and with this API repository we also can write queries, okay, custom queries that I will be showing in the next video or next to next that. Okay, first let's complete this. So for create, just save, that's it. For retrieve all employee, I want just find all, that's it. Okay, and here, as I explained before, dot save work as update for update as well, and for create also. Okay, when it will act as update when you're passing some ID. Okay, if you're passing some ID, it will just check that and it will update that record. So let's take employee E, and here what take repository dot find by id, find by id, and here I will pass the id and it will give us this. So I will do this or else throw. Okay, if it has, okay, with that id, if there is anything, it will return me. And here I will do this, and here what we'll do, e dot set name as this name. Okay, and I will update this. Yes, that is all. So that's all. Now again here what we will do is we will take this, and here we will not set anything, employee dot get id, and save this e, that's it. And for delete we have method delete by id, delete by id. Okay, that is all. So we have now updated our service. Now let's update our controller. So what we have to do is accept this, just copy this, and here we will use employee CRUD service. Okay, employee CRUD service, take this, and that's it, done. Now let's test it. So we have our table in our database. Okay, and we will test it first. In this video we will test only create and retrieve. In next video we will be testing the update, and we will be some seeing the different methods of repository which we can modify and use the custom one. Okay, so let's go to this. Okay, here we have created already our collection for get create update. Okay, for create is, let's wait for this to start, it is starting it. Okay, if you are not understanding the annotation, please let me know in the comment section, and please do watch the previous video, okay, before coming to this video. And it started. Now let's go. If I do retrieve, it will not send me, like it will give us some empty list because we don't have anything in our db. Okay, now let's create. I don't need to pass the id. Okay, now I don't need to, oh, I don't need to pass the id, I will just send it. So it should create. Yes, it created id by itself. Now I'll pass my name and this. Okay, let's take another name. Let's say something Sonu. Okay, and we will have this. Okay, and now let's use one more. Let's use Mayank and 6. Okay, ID is incremental, auto incremental. We have already added. And for get, we can just get this. We will get the list. That's it. So this is the DB from DB. Okay, and if we see our database, okay, if we see, I will do select star from employee. Okay, and if I run this, student db dot employee. Okay, we have to use also in this, we have to use this db, so we'll go under this db, and then yes, so you can see these all 4 records are we got in db. So we have integrated successfully to our database. So I don't want to make the video long, so we will check or test the updates Okay, update and delete in the next video. And also we will be seeing the repository different, like how we can write the custom methods and custom queries for that. And please stay updated then. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you feel this video is helpful to you, please like this video, subscribe my channel, stay updated. Thank you.